stopped in at Collins to check on the progress of the Ferrari build. And remember, this Ferrari is going to be mounted on a wall 20 foot in the air. So we have some wiggle room. We want a good product, but we also know that we are mounting a kit car. And these kit cars, we didn't realize quite how rough they are, but our customer's awesome. He stopped by yesterday and he was ecstatic. So today we are painting the back sides black. That way when it's hung on the wall, you don't see any silver at all. And then after we get it painted, mounted on the frame, we will do full Bondo paint just like a normal car. That way hung on the wall, it looks flawless. So up here, of course, we have hoods, doors, rockers, all of that. Here's our hood and deck lid. Bill made this frame, which I think is art. Right now we are cleaning it. It's already been ran over with a red Scotch-Brite, and we will get this in epoxy primer. We are using epoxy because we can do a coat. We might do 2 coats on it, depends on how thick we need it in areas. I let the painter make that decision, and that keeps it from rusting. There will never be any issues, especially this will be inside. We're also epoxying the back sides of this aluminum. Epoxy will stick to anything. That makes it handy. The bad part about epoxy is it doesn't sand well, but in this situation, we're not sanding it, so it's a win. Tomorrow, we're actually going to glue the body onto the frame because mounting aluminum to steel can cause corrosion issues. We'll be using windshield urethane. Our theory on that is if it'll hold a windshield in, it'll hold this body to this frame. And that gives us some wiggle room as far as orientation of the body on the frame. We designed it to have a 1/4 inch gap. That helps everything, guys. If you're building something, give yourself some tolerance. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be workable. Keep that in mind. Not to mention the urethane will give us some flex. We will have body filler in this car. We don't want it to flex and crack out too much, but if it's too rigid, that'll cause it to crack as well. Keep that in mind. On this frame, we have mounting all the way at the bottom for the lip down here, front and rear. This will bolt on in those locations and then glue everywhere else. So far, we are at around 40 hours of labor in this project. We don't have a lot of money in materials because this 3/4 inch square tubing is relatively cheap. Where this project is going to get expensive is right here. Once we start the bodywork, how we do it here is we epoxy the panel and we do our bodywork on top of the epoxy primer. So that will be a bridge that we cross next week. I will likely put 2 body men on this and get it knocked out, get it in primer. From that point, we'll let it sit a couple days. We always want primer to gas out. So this project came to us from a really good customer. The gentleman owns a paving company, and he has apparently a pretty significant man cave. We got the call to say, hey, will you mount a Ferrari on the wall? Let's go take a look at it. So his original idea, he wanted it to be this polished aluminum color, and that's not feasible. Honestly, we don't have the skill set here to hammer and polish this aluminum to that level. We're talking no body filler, no anything. That takes a craftsman thousands and thousands of hours. That's not feasible. So we convinced him into, at this point, we are going to do body work, paint it silver, and then if he doesn't like the silver, he's going to get it wrapped in something similar to that. That is very difficult to match the sheen. It's almost impossible with paint. There are some vinyl options that get closer to it, but with vinyl, he will have seams. There's not a piece of vinyl wide enough to traverse this whole gap. So hopefully he likes the color. We have a photo spectrometer, so a color match camera. We've color matched just the bare aluminum, and it gave us a pretty good color. It's just aluminum oxide with a little bit of black in it, and hopefully that suffices. Paint is always the best way. So Bill did a great job on this frame. One thing I love about it, if you look down it, it is almost perfectly symmetrical. There's a few areas that he couldn't do symmetrical. One of them is here. Where things mount up on this body, this car is not symmetrical. Keep that in mind. But he's done a very good job. We wanted this to be as light as possible because it is mounting on the wall. One thing that he did that I think is really cool, he bent these pieces of 1-inch strap That way, when the door sits on here, you're not gonna feel bulky. Inside here, there is a gap between where the trunk ends and where the steering column would be. In this situation, I'm hoping we can do a snap rivet, like a leather cover in here to hide all of the framing. But just in case the customer doesn't want that, there is no framing inside. So as this sits on the wall, you're not going to see anything other than the wall behind it. We think that adds a really cool detail. That's why we have 2 of these subframe mounts. We've already drilled holes, so when we get on location, the hood and the deck lid will be off. We come in here, screw it in, snap those in. They actually slide in and lock down, and I think there's one screw right here in the middle that screws the deck lid on, or the hood or the deck lid. So on the headlights, the owner is trying to find something that we can make work. This having operational headlights and taillights, maybe on a light switch where they flash or do something cool. I think that's the route he's going. Of course, that's something we can do after Bondo, after paint. And guys, stay tuned. There is, I've been told, and I've actually seen it, there's pictures. There's a 2010 Ferrari red that he wants done identical to this, and he wants them at a cool angle in his man cave. So hopefully we get that project. Of course, this is a test run, see how we like this type of job and see how he likes it, and then we'll go from there. So far, the man is in love. He actually stopped by yesterday just to check on it himself. He's a very busy man, so for him to take time out of his schedule means this means something to him. I was told this car's been on a shelf for 3 years, ready for this project. All we've done so far to the body is get it sandblasted, and now we're here. Of course, we have a lot of work to do on the body. All the gap openings on these kit cars are long. Here's actually on Bill's tape, the hood used to be 1.5 inches too big. And I think they do that so whoever builds the kit car has plenty of material to work with. We went a little different direction on the mounting. We tried to fold over the edges of the hood to hem them, but this aluminum is too brittle. Even with heat, with everything we tried, we couldn't make that happen. So Bill built frames that go in here. We're going to mount the hood and deck lid to those frames rather than having a hem flange, because there's no internal structure. It's a kit car. You design it. One thing I didn't mention, where we started on this, we actually built wooden frames, pretty basic. We had some pallets laying out back. We built them super cheap. There's some pictures if you want to link to those. That we got the general orientation, got the laser level out, made sure the car was straight, and then Bill just went to town. So body shops have lots of vice grips because things have to dry. So these vice grips will be on probably till tomorrow. That's not really needed that long, but the frame fits so nice. There's actually not a whole lot needed. Bill designed it so everything slides into place. If you notice when it was just the frame, back here there were 2 little squares. There's corresponding pegs inside the body, so it lines up. Hopefully tomorrow we can get these frames married. Bill made these. They slide in, and then there's a screw somewhere. Yeah, there's screws that hold them on. When we mount this thing to the wall, we will have to have the trunk and the hood off to get to our screws. Then vertical on the wall, this slides into place, of course, with the hood or corresponding panel. I'll have to have help on that, but that's the general idea. I know we are going to get some hate on how we did this, but guys, you tell me a better way. Come on, comment about it. Let's go. We have spent hours, over 100 years combined shop experience. This is the best way we can figure out to make this safe, sturdy, but not too rigid. What else are we going to do? So we'll get a video next week of the bodywork happening. Hopefully I can get 3 body men on this and snap our fingers, and it's in primer, just like, what's that show Exhibit used to do? Hit My Ride. It would show like the audio and all this stuff, and then snap, it's in paint. Like, oh guys, come on. That was weeks of work. We only do bodywork over epoxy primer. That is key. Bondo loves to stick to epoxy. Epoxy loves Bondo. Read the side of the can. It says to apply over epoxy, not bare metal. We try our best. This primer is epoxy primer by SPI. If you guys haven't checked them out, I'm not sponsored by them. This is just a really good product. One thing we love about this product is the instruction sheets are written in English. They're regular, like, guy talk. One of the main bullet points, it says, if you cannot keep your shop above 60 degrees, do not use our product. Like, wow, that is serious. If epoxy gets below 60 degrees during the curing process, it will stop. And judging by the wording, I don't think it restarts when it gets above 60. This is a chemical reaction. I'm not willing to test that. We're gloving up. This is a little bit different project. Typically, we would make our body filler work dead perfect. I'm kind of particular on that. This one's different because this car will never be outside. It's going to hang on a wall inside of a man cave. So in this situation, what we're doing, we've got it roughed in with body filler. Now we're going to go through and fill the little pinholes with glaze, and then we're going to polyester primer it, which super thick primer. It's more of a restoration type primer, and we'll put enough on here that will block it, maybe reprime it, and she will be good. A little bit different tactic on this car just due to the circumstance, but I think you guys will like it. So one thing in particular, we're not gonna put a whole lot of hardener in this one. That way it gives us plenty of time to spread the glaze. We understand it's going to take longer for it to dry, but with three of us, we want to be able to glaze most of this car with that one mix if possible. That'll keep us from wasting. Okay, so we're going to just start somewhere, and you'll notice there's still some Bondo fingers here and there. We're gonna knock those out once we sand this stuff. What I'm looking for, Jake, see how there's a little discoloration there? So I know this spot's a little bit low. I'm gonna wipe a little more than the surrounding areas on it. I'm still working fast because this stuff will harden. And pinholes require a certain direction. Some of them I can fill this way, some I have to go that direction. We will likely do this 2 or 3 times just with the size of this job. But keep in mind, with the polyester, it will fill the ones that we miss. It'll fill those. We call it sprayable Bondo. And the goal of this is for these guys to get on, rough this thing back out before the Bondo or glaze gets super hard. So here in a second, you'll see us attack this car with a DA, get the top knocked off of it, and then we'll slowly block the rest. When your roll gets low, this is a great block. Now it fits perfect in these little areas. All these people talking about using these huge blocks on cars. You can make a car straight with a small block. You just have to know how to use it. There's nowhere on this car that this straight block fits. It doesn't fit anywhere. So when I'm using it, it's only in very select areas. Like, yeah, from here to here, I want that to be straight. But I can do that same thing with a much smaller block. To start filming. Mike, are you opposed to being in the video? No. I'd love to stay and help these guys finish this thing and get it primed today, but we've got to run to the other shop, get payroll done, and then off to Vail. Today we are at Collins first. We're going to, first off, knock out payroll. The guys like to get paid. And then we will check on the Ferrari job, kind of give you guys some tricks on what we're doing there. Huge progress is made this week. So today we are at Collins looking at the Ferrari build. We are on, actually let's back up. The car took a little bit of a change of direction. Originally, this was going to go silver so that it looked like polished aluminum on the wall. Of course, to polish out aluminum with a rough kit car would be thousands and thousands of hours. We're not gonna do that. So I told them we would mud it up like normal and prime it, paint it silver. Well, now he wants it black. Well, those of us in the car world know that black shows a whole lot more inconsistencies than silver. So what we did, we blocked it again, reprimed it, made sure there was no pinholes, no anything wrong. We've also made some little inserts here and there. They now want headlight buckets. So up here, we have roughed in our first prototype of a headlight bucket. And actually this is for this side. They want these silver and the car black. That way all of this pops. So we will get this polished up. Of course, making this out of aluminum, we will glue it in. They never want there to be a headlight in here. So that's going to make our life easy because you don't have to have this reflecting. So keep in mind with this project, it's going to be hung up on a wall 20 feet in the air. We have described the expectation to the customer as far as the straightness of a kit car. I don't want to spend 100 hours on bodywork. That doesn't make any sense. Although we're close to there with body and primer. The main thing I'm worried about is these lines. From the ground, you are going to see just body lines as a bird's eye view. So we want to make sure all of this is perfect, and the guys have done such a good job. It looks really good. They were on pinholes today, just double checking everything. From this point, we only apply sealer when we have to, and now we will hopefully just 600 this and apply base coat directly on top of this primer. This is urethane primer. Base coat loves urethane primer, so that'll make the whole thing go a little smoother. Applying extra layers of material doesn't make any sense unless you have to. After we are done painting, the upholstery guy is going to come in and put snaps and a piece of vinyl to cover the inside. That way you can't see the wall below it. We do have some cleanup to do. I'm sure you saw in the video, there's some Bondo fingers here and there. Actually, there's one over here I keep staring at. Wiping Bondo can be messy. As far as our timeline goes, we're hoping to paint this on Friday, which is in 3 days. That's very doable. Out of paint, we'll come in on Monday, get it buffed, get it cleaned up, everything finalized. The interior guy come in. Hopefully this leaves end of next week. That's super win. Everything is glued in. Everything's ready to go. Of course, like we said at the beginning, the hood and the trunk are removable. We will take those off. That way, when it gets hung on the wall, we would then bolt them back in. They originally talked about making the headlights and taillights work. Now they have gone away from that, which saves us a little bit of work as far as getting all that to work properly. I don't think they have electricity up that high on the wall, so that helped us out. Oh, one thing that's new, these inner fenders. Last time we were here, we glued the body on and these inner fenders had not been connected yet. We went a little different method on these. These are panel bonded to the body. They're not connected to the structure. So there's actually a seam right here. We overlapped it, panel bond. I don't know if that's past tense. We'll see. We used panel bond on it, so it's It's never going to go anywhere. And then everything else is urethaned to the body. You ready? 3, 2, 1. The roller coaster. We've all done it. Okay, what do we got next? Body lines, inner fenders, cleanup. Wiping Bondo on this big of a job is messy. The guys did a really good job on keeping everything clean, but of course accidents happen. So this being black, we'll sand that off and paint the frame right where it's at, and then we'll paint the body later. And of course, I call it Bondo. It is body filler. We all know it. Someone's gonna complain that, oh, you're not using Bondo. Yeah, most of the time we use 3M Gold. We love the stuff. And even if like on a big project like this, sometimes we'll buy a cheaper version of the 3M Gold, but we typically, I don't know what it is about the gold color, but we like it. We typically use that.
Music licensing reimagined.
We are going to stab the body onto the Ferrari. They epoxied the backside of it this morning. SPI says wait 2.5 hours before doing anything with their epoxy. So epoxy's nice and dry. We baked it. Now we are going to windshield urethane the aluminum body onto the metal frame. We decided to do windshield urethane because it gives it some rigidity, but it's also a little bit flexible. It gives us a little bit of forgiveness. This frame doesn't have to be 100% perfect because there will be a 1/4 inch gap essentially. Once we smash it down, it'll be solid, it won't go anywhere. And of course, this will never be on the road. It'll be hung on a wall somewhere.
Music licensing reimagined.
Kind of got to go down so you can catch that nose. Pull your side over. You can yank that side out over the frame.
There we go. Yep.
Well, this one is up. About like so.
Okay, this is the test fit. What I want to check is at what angle do we need the glue to touch the body? In theory, it will all be on the top, but I've got a feeling at some point over in this area, it changes to the top and maybe even the side. So yeah, Bill, it looks like we're top all the way until we get to these, till here, and then it's side. So we're
this side so far, and then we just got to fit the doors.
Yeah. Do we need to fit the door while the glue is wet, or can we roll on? Because you got to custom fit the door, right?
We just have to hammer it around to me. They're close. I just once this is solid, it's solid, right?
Yeah.
It'll be there.
Yeah.
So we should be able to do whatever we need to at that point. Just
Perfect.
Hammer it into place.
Do we want to square this and make some marks so we can line right back up, or maybe a couple
like
screw
you
holes?
said, draw the lines. Maybe even if it was just chalk.
Yeah, I'm not opposed. I mean, really, I wouldn't mind a couple sheet metal screws overnight, because the doors are going to overlap here, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Wherever you guys decide to make it look.
Yeah. Well, let's measure it to make sure we're relatively square, and then.
Well, it won't. It's locked right back here. It locked where it's
Oh, perfect.
go. So if it's out of square, it was built. Oh, it's this one up here where it's locked in up here.
Oh, I see. Perfect. Then yeah, we're good then.
If this one's inside, yeah, that's where it sits.
So we just vice
The
grip
only one
this.
that's off is that one, so we can pop it on.
Perfect.
So
So-
do you want to do body and frame?
No, we'll just have to do body, or we'll just have to do frame, because I don't know if you can see this, Jake. The gap up here, he built this so tight. There's only a 1/16 in most areas, 1/8 in others. We're not going to have a 1/4 inch of urethane on this, so I'm confident with, I was thinking maybe we needed to put some screws in it here and there, but this thing fits so tight, there's no way it's going to move. Perfect. Well, let's, guess we'll just set it off, set it in front. Yeah, side down, and the rest of this, yeah, we set flush everywhere else, correct?
Yeah, that one, once it's in there, we can just do it.
I'll probably start. Oh yeah, she'll hold. Do it on this side of the bar. Okay, Milwaukee windshield gun. You've got to have one. Wanna meet me? I'll get your next tube ready.
Music licensing reimagined.
Our theory behind this is this glue holds windshields in cars with much less square footage than we are using it on now.
Empty, eh?
Artlist.io.
Another thing, Jake, can you look at this nozzle? We V-cut the nozzle.
I don't know how.
That way the bead we lay down has a nice point. When you smash that point down, it makes a nice square that helps all this stuff stay together.
It's too smart for me.
Trade you.
Music licensing reimagined.
Okay. I got this. Oh no.
It's good defense.
So we go all the way to here.
Yeah, about to that rib.
Artlist.io.
Here.
Yep.
So every time I start and stop, I'm being a little wasteful. I'm putting a good little glob. That way it's got a lot of meat to mount to.
Oh, nice.
Here. Everywhere. Guys, this thing is not going anywhere. And we're going right over epoxy. Fresh epoxy. Oh, just ran through it too.
Wow.
There's a little bit left in there.
A little bit.
I'll just use that tip.
Nope.
Is that it? Nope.
Just forcing it out.
Yeah, it's back and then forward.
Oh, it's got like a spring at the back.
Yep, something. I'm gonna change gloves.
Music licensing reimagined.
Oh, not as smooth as the boss. With the save.
This morning, Bill.
Making race car headlight covers.
Ooh, I like that quick disconnect that you designed there.
Yeah, it's high-end masking tape. I'm just trying to make it fit like a race car picture they sent.
Oh, that's cool.
Kind of looks like a toenail to me.
It does look like a toenail. Done.
Yeah, a little bit
So you'll just make it to have a nice little gap all the way around?
Yeah, it'll be trimmed back slowly, and then I'll have to like fix a couple of spots of the mud. Maybe
Oh, where it's a little
on
lumpy?
That one where maybe I left too much when I was coming around that corner.
Okay.
So,
Fantastic. Do you think you can get the mud in primer today? That way you can work on just the lens, and then he can start blocking on this for hopefully paint Thursday?
yeah, I don't think this is not too much. Maybe an hour's work to get these right. And then
Perfect.
I can primer it too. Yeah, today would be no problem.
Perfect. So what we're seeing is what, some lump right here. Oh yeah, I can actually see
Yeah.
there's a flat spot from there to there.
I didn't have anything. I just was
Roughing it in.
guessing.
Yeah. Educated guessing. That's most of what we do, isn't it?
That is what it takes sometimes.
Yeah. I'm sure there are better ways to do this. This just makes the most sense to us. We have a rule: what does not bend breaks. So why mount this super solid? It's not going to go anywhere with windshield urethane, and it gives it so much flexibility while being rigid at the same time. I know, an oxymoron. When you're moving that fast, sometimes you blow it out. I can slow it down. And move at Bryce speed. Hey, Bill.
Yo,
So this strip here, we're still good.
just out to that guy. He's the
Guys, on
deputy
gloves,
across the back.
I buy them double XL because I like to be able to get them on fast. Time is money. Don't buy gloves that fit. Buy gloves a little big.
So busy being a star to help. Just gotta catch your bottom, man.
Yep. Down. Works for me.
Are you back behind it? Oh yeah. Hit that under there a little. Sweet.
Music licensing reimagined.
I think you have the wrong number.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Today we did a test fit of the epoxied panels, made sure that everything still fit good, which sounds crazy. Sometimes paint will change our gaps. And then we urethaned around our frame, made sure all of our contact points were good, and set the body. This will not come back off. There is 5 tubes of urethane holding this on.
Got hard quick, didn't it? Might need a bigger screwdriver. That feels so tight. Probably that too.
It's vinyl top day. So my buddy Sam made the vinyl top for us. We're going to test fit it today and throw the snaps in. You got it?
Yep.
Let's stretch it out and see what it looks like.
Music licensing reimagined.
Delivery time. We cheated. We just bolted this thing to the trailer. Why not? Hey guys, it is 114 today in Oklahoma. This is about as hot as it gets for us. So bear with me, I'm a little sweaty. So today is the day the Ferrari goes home. We are excited, we are nervous. The customer didn't really have a place to put it quite yet because they're remodeling the man cave where the Ferrari will live. So I told them, hey, I really need this out of my shop. I don't mind if you'll just let me bring it to your shop, because I know they have a lot of area that they use. I don't want to say too much, but they have a very large construction company. So can I just put it on my trailer, park my trailer in your shop? My fear is that it's going to get scratched or dented here in this busy body shop when I know you have lots of space in your construction shop. So they thought that was a great idea. So I just put it on my spare trailer. You know, we all have trailers we don't use. So I just told them, hey guys, in the next month, get me this trailer back. I'm not too worried about it. Or if I need it, I'll come yell at you or borrow one of your trailers. You know, they're super good like that. And we've been doing their body work for the last, over 7 years. We've been their body shop for a fleet of, I think they have 300 trucks. So as you can imagine, we stay pretty hooked up with them. So I'm making the video to say that this is kind of the somber moment in these big projects. I mean, it took us 3 months of working on this thing almost every day. Go back in the videos, watch it from start to finish. There's a lot here, and it's a really cool project. There's a couple things that I wanted to mention. You know, the customer, I gave them two options to get this Ferrari mounted, and they chose the cheaper option, which I don't blame them. It's going to be in the wall of a man cave. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then they changed a few things. We added the tarp to cover up the inside. We added headlight buckets. Even originally he wanted it silver, now it's black with the red nose. Like we did some changes, but at the end it is super cool, and I think the owner's gonna love it. So guys, stay tuned for more videos. We are trying to do more cool things. Of course, our main business is production collision work, so some of that's boring, but if you guys want to see more of it, we have interesting situations quite often that I think we could make videos on. If you guys want to see that stuff, give it a like, give it a share. We'll throw a carrot out every now and then as to some new content. Just tell us what you guys want to see. Have a good one.